Alrighty, so we now get on to the main DC, the main DC books. Um, I weirdly have a lot of Batman titles than anything else. It's really weird. I I have Superman. I have Injustice, which technically would mean I would ordinarily have Superman and the Justice League titles. But when it comes to the core DC universe, I have a lot of Batman titles, and not only, and it's not only Batman titles. It's some of them are old 52, but quite a lot of them are new 52, and it's really interesting. So one of the first things that I have for you is Batman Hush. I have done a review for this, which you'll be getting after I do my Marvel Studios reviews. But I really enjoyed Batman Hush. I felt like some of the story towards the end kind of fell off the bandwagon a bit, but it is still a very good story. I mainly picked up this book initially because I really like Batman and Catwoman being together, and I wanted to see what the Batman Hush was like and what it did with these characters' relationship, because they do form some kind of relationship in this book. And I found actually the book was a lot more interesting than I had initially thought it was. And it's an excellent book to pick up if you are trying to get into old Batman stories. It's also a good book to pick up for just a one-off Batman story. There are a few bits you need to read, but mainly you can just read Batman Hush on its own. And I do recommend it because it is a really good book. It's not amazing, but it is a really good book. Now we get on to Batman and Son. I really like this book. My one problem, as I said in my review for it, which if you click here, you'll be able to get that review. Product placement. Ding 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 ding. So product placement aside and more views and stuff. Batman Hush. Batman and Son is a really good story. It just got so complicated and so convoluted and really hard to follow. Grant Morrison really went in the deep end towards the end of this book. And it just got so complicated. Granted, I really enjoyed it. I ended up coming out of the book very confused. And not a lot of the book entirely made sense. I will say this, if you're going to start buying Grant Morrison's run on Batman, and leading into the depths of Batman and Final Crisis, and then in turn the New 52, when you buy this book, when you buy Batman Son, this is the deluxe edition. Buy Batman, do yourself a favor and buy Batman R.I.P. Hey look, I'm pretty. Sorry. But when you pick up Batman and Son, pick up Batman R.I.P. These books very much belong together. Because you get more of a complete story then. You get Batman and his son. You then get, and you basically get the build-up to Batman's death. It's not his actual death, but you do get a build-up to his actual death. And I think you definitely have to buy R.I.P. and Batman's Son together. I recommend buying the deluxe edition because you get everything, you get all of Grant Morrison's story. Buy Batman R.I.P. and then you get a complete story. And you won't regret doing that because some bits will make a bit more sense when you read it all together. I also have the Batman Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader. This is a very nice story and basically is a bit of a farewell to Batman. And it talks about all of Batman's, about what Batman stands for and who Batman is as a character. Some of it is a bit out there, again, like with Grant Morrison, but it is a very, very good book. And well worth picking up. I also have Batman Battle for the Cowl. This book, I was a bit slightly disappointed with. It's still a good story, and it's still very, very much about the mythology of Batman and what Batman stands for, and is Batman a symbol, or is Bruce Wayne the only Batman that can exist? And seeing Nightwing become Batman is the most awesome bit about this book. The problem with the book is it's too short. It needed a longer time to tell its story. And there are bits at the end which aren't needed, and just further complicate an already complicated story about Batman's death and rise, and all the way to Batman Incorporated. So now we have the New 52 stuff. Justice League Volume 1, which also has had a recent animated movie. Aquaman doesn't appear in it though, but it, first up, I really appreciated the New 52 for coming out when it did. Because the New 52 pulled me into the comic book stuff, and I've never looked back. I am really glad that I got the opportunity to join the comic book community and join the comic book genre as a whole. I have had many good life experiences from these books, and it has made me become the person I am today. And that's why I appreciate the New 52. And Justice League is a really good story. It basically, Jeff Johns Volume 1 of Justice League really gives you what these characters are about. And it just shows you who they are and stuff. And it propels this team into fighting a threat that would force these characters to come together. And that is through Darkseid. Some might argue that Darkseid is a villain that is a bit too big. He's a bit too big for these characters to get together. But I really like this story, and I think it's worth and I think that when DC do their cinematic universe, this is how the Justice League should be. Obviously, you can leave out the Darkseid and exchange it with another villain, but I think you definitely have to do it in the New 52 version, because it's just a really good story, and it definitely helps new readers learn who these characters are. Now we get on to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman Volume 1 is a very good story. And what I like about this story is it focuses on her mythological aspects to her character. And it's sometimes very easy to forget that Wonder Woman is from a mythological world. She's from the Greek myths. And I thought that Brian Azzarello did a really good job at portraying Wonder Woman. Her origin is changed somewhat in the story, but it's done really well. It's an awesome story, and if you like Greek myth, and the artwork in this book is fantastic, by the way. If you like Greek myth, pick this book up. It's really worth it. There's a lot of mythological, Greek mythological aspects to the story, which is incorporated in, and it's just a really good story. Now we have Batman Court of Owls, starting my Zack Snyder collection. We have Batman Volume 1 Court of Owls and Batman Night of the Owls. These two books are brilliant. I like Volume 1 a bit more than I like Volume 2, but these books are absolutely fantastic. Zack Snyder did such a good job in his first run on Batman. And what I like most about Zack Snyder's run on Batman with the Court of Owls is that he doesn't talk about just Batman and his character and his nature and blah blah, but he talks about the city. He talks about Zack Snyder has a constant theme in his books, and it's all about Gotham City. It's all about it's all about Gotham City and how Batman and Bruce Wayne relate to the story. And it's just a really good book. I really, really like the book. So yeah. I have more expanded versions if you click the link here and here. Night of the Owls Batman Detective comic issue is just a tie-in with the Batman story. I have done a review on it if you click on the link here. So yeah. Now, Batman Death of the Family, Zack Snyder's third volume of Batman, is really, really good. I really like this story and the characters in here. Batman, Zack Snyder did a really good job with at making the Joker really creepy. And the Joker in Batman Death of the Family is the best Joker he's ever been. He's really, really, really good. And the way Zack Snyder did the story is really, really interesting. Basically what Zack Snyder does is he has the Joker reveal that he knows the identities of all of the Bat family. And it's more of a story about the Bat family and about Batman and his secrets, and is Batman truly alone? The Death of the Family is also a major part of Zack Snyder's story that he's telling currently with Endgame and Batman Eternal. It's all related back to the Joker, and I do recommend that you buy Batman Death of the Family if you want to get into those stories. Batgirl is another story that I have. It's basically a tie-in to her set of stories that tie into the Death of the Family. And it's all about and Gail Simone basically tells a story, gives us more of an explanation as to the psychological damage that the Joker inflicted onto Barbara, and the continued pain that she goes through when she sees the Joker, and why it's so personal to her. Another great story that ties in with the Death of the Family is Red Hood and the Outlaws and the Teen Titans books. These are really, really good stories. Not as good as the actual Death of the Family and not as good as Batgirl, but they're really, really good stories. Well worth picking up again. I love in the single issues these covers, by the way. It's like the Joker face is great, and then it's the Red Hood. It's just really, really good. Sorry guys, I'm kind of getting a bit burned out, so that's why you're seeing me kind of get a bit tired and just trying to rush through these books. I'm kind of getting a bit burned out, but I just have just a couple more to talk about, and then yeah. the Catwoman tie-in with the death of the family is awful. It just, it isn't good. If you want more discussion about Catwoman, click the link, but, it's definitely not a very, very good, tie-in, really. We also have the Suicide Squad. Again, it's alright. Not anything too grandiose, but it's alright. So I have Suicide Squad, and I have Detective Comics. And I will say one thing about Detective Comics is Detective Comics is a really, really good set of stories. From the issues that I've read, I have enjoyed most of the detective stories that I've read so far. I also have the Nightwing. This story is meh. Batman and Robin is slightly better than Nightwing. So now we have something a bit different now. So after Damian Wayne's death, we got a series of stories that basically covered that death. I had done a review on these, but it's basically now going to be a lost video, because I don't have time to now go back and redo stuff from last year. So I get the opportunity to now talk about it now. I basically call this Batman Requiem. Named so far because of that. And basically this just talks about Damian Wayne's death. And it's really, really, and it's just really, really touching. It's a touching story about Damian Wayne's death. Clayface appears in the story, just discussing, Clayface appears in the story, and how he's mutating, just a really, really good set of stories, that are just really sweet and really nice. Finally, I have my Superman and Unchained books. And I do have a volume on all 9 volumes of Superman Unchained. So I'm not going to go too much into this volume. But Superman Unchained is just a really, really good Superman story. I have slight problems with the book, but it is a very, very good Superman story. Anyway, that's most of my trade reviews. I hope you have enjoyed my trade review, my trades collection. And basically, guys, stay tuned for more comic book trades reviews. I have plenty in my comic book bin, which well, it's not really a bin, it's this, basically. It's, that big tin there, that silver thing, is basically where all of my single issue books are kept. And there are loads of books in there that, I am currently collecting trades for. that I'm currently collecting, whether in single issues or in trades. I'm currently collecting. So that, and it's pretty full. So guys, do expect a lot of comic book reviews. I know it feels like this year I haven't done very many comic book reviews, but guys, there is still a lot of comic books to be reviewed. We have Convergence coming out, and we have Secret Wars coming out. You can bet your bottom dollar that I am going to be reviewing most of that. And guys, yeah, that's me done, and I shall see you later for another comic book review. Bye.